It's saying that I have to ask for permission. Okay. All right. All right, you all. So today we are going to be completing training for Star Renaissance. As you know, testing will start next week. So we have to go ahead and be trained on it and then sign our testing oaths afterwards, okay? All right, so a reminder, this training does not take the place of reading the appropriate testing manual. So I emailed this information out to you already, so just make sure that you've read the testing manual and that you're familiar with all the processes and procedures in regards to Renaissance testing. So why Star Renaissance? So Star Renaissance, we're gonna be utilizing this program for our screeners this year. So it's gonna track data throughout the school year. It transforms the assessment data into action steps for you all. So after the kiddos finish testing, it will give you group recommendations on how you can group your kids during small group instruction. It also identifies different skills that those students are ready to work on. So it really strategically lays out a plan for you all. Testing fidelity. So while students are testing, you may not help them directly or indirectly answer questions or tell them if they've picked the correct answer, okay? Students may not talk to one another or you while testing is in session. And then make sure that you cover or remove any materials that could help students answer test items. So we did the email that I sent out, we said to kind of have your rooms covered before you leave on Friday, okay? So you can be ready, our literacy teacher, so you can be ready for testing on Monday, okay? Testing procedures. The test administrator should remain in the room during the entire test session and actively monitor students while testing. So just kind of walking around the room. Before the kiddos take a test, there's going to be practice questions for them. And so you're gonna have to kind of monitor this part, because if they can't answer 2 out of the 3 questions, they're gonna have to restart the practice questions again, okay? So kind of just making sure that they get past that practice portion of the test and that they're actually into the actual test, okay? And also just making sure that those kiddos who are receiving accommodations such as the oral administration and extended time, that those accommodations are being provided for students, and there's not any glitches in the systems or anything like that. Testing session is ended when all students have completed the assessment. Check all testing devices to ensure all students have completed the test and screens have returned to the login page. So after students complete their test, it should prompt them back to that login page. And so that's how you'll know that they're completed with testing. So prior to testing, so here's the essentials. You should have already watched the training video that I emailed out to you. You should have read the testing manual already. You're attending training now. And then after training today, you're gonna make sure that you sign the testing oath. I took that to your classroom this morning. And then also turn in your seating chart. So some of you already have seating charts that you've turned into your grade level assistant principal. So just make sure that if you already did that, you're good to go. I'll get that copy for them, but we just have to keep all this on file. So if you have not completed a seating chart yet, please complete one and get that turned in. Classroom and Canvas. So as I said before, covering your any materials on the walls that can only the materials that can help students answer questions. So if you have like decoration and things like that, you're not worried about that, okay? You're gonna attach the testing sign to your door. That's what I gave you this morning. Do not disturb testing in progress. So when you're testing, you're just gonna place that outside of your door. Make sure in Canvas, you create either a module or an assignment outlining the instructions for students to access Renaissance from their Clever account on the designated day of testing. So whichever day your content area is testing, making sure that that's the assignment you have provided for the student that day. And then you're also going to post a virtual letter and instructions for student login from the district. I'm going to show you that in just a second. Don't edit it, because this was already approved by Ms. Kornblum, and so she wants everyone to be consistent and have the instructions the same. So if anything, you can edit the bottom portion where you put your name, okay? That's the only part that they want you all to edit if you want to. As far as students, just making sure that their devices are charged and working properly for testing, and then provide students with their login information if Clever doesn't automatically log them in. So Clever, they should be able to go into Clever, hit the Renaissance button, it should automatically log them in. But you know, sometimes things happen, and so I'll provide you with their login information just in case it doesn't automatically log them in. So testing schedule, I just want to kind of go over this again. Monday, September 28th will be the designated day for the STAR Reading Renaissance test. Tuesday, September 29th will be the designated day for the STAR Math Renaissance test. And then on Thursday, October 1st, if any students need to make up their STAR reading test, they can go ahead and do so on this day. And then Friday, October 2nd will be the designated day for students to make up the math test. So after testing, so by the end of the testing week, which is next week, October 2nd, I need you all to create and provide a list of students, your in-person and remote kiddos who have not been able to test, whether they were absent or they just haven't logged in and tested, and then give me that list and also give it to your grade level AP, because what's gonna happen is we're gonna have a makeup test week that next week, and I'm collaborating with Tammy Wheathorn, and she's gonna have a few people from district to come in and help assist with makeup tests for our remote kiddos and things like that. So please provide me that list by October 2nd. And then as far as your student testing data, once the window closes on October 9th, data will start populating. So you're not gonna have to do anything on your end as far as logging into Renaissance and setting up testing or anything like that, okay? Everything's been taken care of for you. The students will just need to log on and take the test. So test administration procedure. So in the testing manual, and then also in the copy that I provided you this morning, it's a script. And so you just need to read aloud word for word the steps that the kiddos need to take, and then you can repeat as needed. And then the text that's italicized, that's just for you, okay? You don't read that part to students. All right, pausing or stopping a test. So if a student needs to leave the room unexpectedly while taking a test, you can stop the test. But just try to remind students, like really focus on taking their test. Try to, go to the bathroom before, so they're not trying to stop it and go to the bathroom, that sort of thing. Keep in mind that pausing or stopping a test is a non-standard administration, so only use this option when absolutely necessary. So like if they have to go to a nurse or they get sick or something like that, okay? But try to let them finish within that time frame. And then also when I get to our accommodations, I'll go more into this as far as stopping and pausing a test. So if you do have to stop and pause a test, a student has 8 days to resume the test at the point where they left off, but they will have different questions. So testing accommodations for students, I want to give a shout out to the APs and myself. We've gone in and we're currently still working on that. We're going in and adding all of those accommodations for your students if they receive oral administration in extended time, so you all are not having to do that, okay? So students who receive oral administration, they'll receive this accommodation only for the math test. And then if students receive extended time, they will receive this accommodation for the math and reading test. So as far as the extended time, this is how it's gonna work. So just all students, if they don't receive any accommodations, they will have 3 minutes per question for the math test. And then if they receive extended time, they will have 6 minutes per question. And then for reading, the first 10 questions, if they don't receive any accommodations, they're gonna have 60 seconds per question to answer. And if they have extended time, they will have 120 seconds per question. And then all questions after should be like 34 questions. They will have 120 seconds per question and then 240 seconds per question, because as they take the test, the difficulty increases depending on if they're answering correctly. And if they don't answer correctly, it kind of drops it back down to their level, okay? So I want you to keep in mind for the math test, because we were told, it could take between 30 to 40 minutes, but as you see, if they take the full 3 minutes, they're going to go over that time. So if you happen to not get done during a class period, you'll just have the kiddos stop the test, and then they can resume it during another time, okay? So any other accommodations that students may receive, just make sure that you're providing them with that as well, because they'll only get the oral administration in extended time within the Renaissance program. So Appendix B, so if everyone can look at the papers that I handed out this morning, the Appendix B, there have some student images towards the end of the packet that I gave you this morning. And what you can do is you can demonstrate for students what the test will look like and practice these questions and practice with students. You know, like you can either display it with your projector or display it with your, using like your Elmo, that sort of thing, your document camera. Go ahead and project it and have students, you know, call them up to the board and let them pretend to click on how they're going to utilize that program next week. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. In that appendix, it gives you some talking points that you can walk students through as far as the types of questions that they're going to answer. And then once you get to the section that's titled Student Images, that's kind of what the kids are going to see. So just kind of get them familiar with what they're going to see next week. So the student testing experience, I wanted to kind of show you what it's going to look like on their end. So they're first going to have to go into Clever, and then once they're in Clever, they're going to click the green blue Renaissance icon. And then when that icon pops up, this is what they will see, okay? So I just want to point out, so the reading is highlighted in blue and the math is highlighted in red. So that's kind of where it's going to, how it's going to look on their end, okay? No student should be taking the Spanish assessment. So just kind of keep in mind, like when you're actively monitoring, that you're looking to make sure that they're clicking star reading or star math and they're not clicking the Spanish version of these tests. All right, so after they click whether they're going to be testing star reading or star math, they're going to choose their class period. So their class should be, so whatever class they're in, it should be the first one listed, but just make sure, because it might look different on their end. So just making sure that they choose your class with your ID number attached to it, okay? Once they choose the class period, it's going to ask for a monitor password, and that password is admin, ADMIN. And then so you can provide this password to students, and because your online students are going to have to know how to access it and get into it as well. So you can go ahead and provide them with the monitor password. Once they're in, they'll start taking their questions, and as they're taking their questions, if they're taking a bit of time, a clock will pop up, and that just means that the question is going to time out and it's going to move on to the next question, okay? And then if a student gets through the practice successfully, it only takes 2 minutes. So that goes back to when I said they haven't took this test in the past 80 days, so 180 days. So they're going to get those practice questions. So just make sure that they get through that part, because if they don't, they're going to keep going into the practice. And so you need to make sure that they actually get through the practice questions and they're actually taking the assessment, okay? All right. And then when they finish, they will log out and the test is completed, and then just have them read a book or work on something quietly until students are finished, okay? So this completes training. Let me check the chat box. Remember to sign your testing oath and complete seating charts. If you've already done so, you're good to go. And then turn these items into myself and your grade level AP before tomorrow, so we can just make sure that we have everything on file.
Can you send this PowerPoint out? Because I'd like to use that for when I create my Canvas.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so I'm going to show you, those documents really quickly. All right, so the virtual letter, this is what the virtual letter would look like. This is what district wants to be sent out to parents in our remote kiddos. So they want you to keep everything the same. So I'm going to send this out to you when training is over. And so this is the bottom part that I told you that you can change. You know, you can put sincerely and then your name, okay? Also, they want us to upload this. So we're going to send this out like on Facebook page and all that kind of things, but they also want you to upload this in Canvas as well. So when I send it to you, I'll try to send it as a link so you can just kind of embed it, or you can upload it however you see fit. But this is also going to go home to kiddos, and it just kind of outlines the steps that they need to log in, okay? And that concludes training for today. Any questions? Ms. Brown, you'll get that today. I'm currently uploading those into the system now, okay? The ELL accommodations, you'll get that, you all.
Ms. Sanders, since the extended time is simply double time, if by the questions, all of our kids are supposed to be able to finish it in 45, if we simply administer it during the first block and then give the extended time the second block, since that is double time, well, can we just have them in at the end of the second block, and it's for everybody's due at the end of the second block?
Yep, that's totally fine.
Okay. The virtual learners, how do we reset if the virtual learners don't get past the practice questions? What happens in that case?
So we'll make a video and get that information to parents to just let them know that when the kids start, they will have those practice questions, and they're just going to have to monitor them and kind of make sure they get past that point.
Gotcha. So parents will take responsibility of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, because they're just logging in on, on their end, so we won't be able to see what's going on. So.
Gotcha.
All right. Any more questions? All right. Well, PLCs can continue. Thank you.
All right. So I'll start. Ms. Sanders, I got one more question. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
The button that we're about to install, the one that Donna Morgan sent us for all of the testing, is that where Renaissance will be as well as our Eduphoria test, or is that just for the Eduphoria test? The actual module button that goes in Canvas.
So they should, it's linked to Eduphoria.
Okay, so that's just for Eduphoria, not for Renaissance.
No, Renaissance, they're going to actually have to go in through their Clever account and then hit the Renaissance button.
Renaissance button. Okay, just making sure. I'm being absolutely sure.
Yes, they'll just go through Clever and click Renaissance.
Okay. All right, so we have the Renaissance. That's the first one, and we're good. If you have any questions further as you're setting it up, let me know. Again, you've got all of those helps in the classroom. So let's go on to how we're going to set up the Eduphoria for Wednesday. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share and get in the classroom. All right, can everybody see my screen? Ms. Rodriguez, I can see you. Would you give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen? Thank you, ma'am. Okay, and let's go with, so I'm already in the classroom. I want to go with setting up the WISD testing module in Canvas. So this is actually a module that you need to drop into your Canvas account, because this is where our Eduphoria will come through. So go ahead, and we're going to do this together. So this isn't like, I'm not just going to tell you this stuff and then you're going to do it. Like, we're going to do it now. So we're not moving on until everybody has this done. That way you don't have to use other time to do it. So if everybody will go ahead and get into your Canvas, let's work these steps together. Log into Canvas. Go to Commons. Search WISD testing. Once you get to this picture, let me know you're there. Miss Brown's there. Would you guys unmute and just say your name when you get there? Because I got a checklist. So as we get to each step to make sure everybody's getting there.
Am I just supposed to get into Canvas?
So get into Canvas, go to Commons, search WISD testing, and when you can see this, when you actually pull up that module, give me that I'm ready to go on.
I'm good.
All right, McCrary's got it.
Williams is good.
Gotcha.
White is good.
Gotcha.
Burke is good.
Yay, Miss Burke.
Good, Judy.
I know somebody said something and I didn't hear them.
Board is good.
Thank you.
I'm confused. Hold on.
Have that up, Ms. Rodriguez? Did you find the actual WISD
okay.
module picture?
Sorry.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, Rodriguez is good.
Rokio's good.
Thank you, Rokio.
How you doing?
Ms. Barron, whenever I search Waco ISD testing, it just says no results found.
You're putting in WISD space test.
Testing, yes, ma'am.
Who's saying that?
Ms. Barlow.
Okay, Barlow's struggling. Gotcha, Barlow. Duty, you got it?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, who else?
No results found.
Trujillo, you're not finding it either?
No.
Okay.
So it's Waco ISD what? Because I had to minimize this so I could see what I'm doing.
WISD testing. WISD space testing.
Space testing. Let me try this again. No results found.
All right.
Mr. Hill, make sure you're typing in WISD because I was for sure typing in Waco ISD. So just make sure it's only the W.
Yep, now it's there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good too.
All right, good. You're good. So Barlow's got it. Trujillo's got it. Okay, here we go. Now, Miss Monroe, you got this? Here's your Ella kids are going to need to do this too.
Yes,
Okay,
got it.
gotcha. All right, so the next thing you click on the blue WISD testing and import download. See that where it has the blue when you click on it? Right here, import download. All right, I'm gonna wait 30 seconds and only yell stop if you haven't gotten it. All right, has anybody not gotten it? Yell stop. Okay, choose the classes to import and then click import into course. So you should be able to choose all of them, all the classes that you wanted in and import it into the course. Or choose by whatever, how you're gonna do it.
Sixth grade, do we just want to do it to our sandbox?
Yeah, I was going to ask, do we want to just put it in the sandbox first, or are we just going to do it to all?
I already put it in all.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Put it in your classes. Put it in your classes.
Like each period or just one of the periods?
Click all.
Oh, okay.
Now you should be able, oh, sorry. If anybody needs us to wait, yell stop. Got 10 seconds. All there? All right, so now as you get in each course, the module should be at the bottom of the course and then you can move it. So go ahead and we can move it up, and you may not want to move it up today, but you can move it up to the top, move it wherever you need to, because this is where they get to do all of their Eduphoria testing. Does that make sense? So we may want to move it to the front on the days that we're testing, then move it to the bottom or however y'all want to do that. Okay? You can also edit the instructions.
We're clicking on import into course.
Yes, import into course.
Okay.
It's there.
All import into course. Yeah. So everybody check your courses, check the ones that you publish and make sure you've got it in there. Don't tell me you don't. this is where students will access all district and campus online assessments. So we're about to get you guys ready to do the campus assessment for Unit 1. And you'll still have to stop and start the test in Eduphoria, but we're about to go over that part. So are we all ready to move on to the Eduphoria part? Has everybody got this in their Canvas?
Yeah.
Congratulations, you have finished 2 parts of your learning today. Let's move on to part 3.
Hold on, please.
Get back in the class, back where I need to get in the classroom.
Baron.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when I'm in Canvas still, and I click on my course, and you said to make sure that the information is there.
Should be there at the bottom.
And when I go to the bottom, I don't see it. You know, my stuff has been messing up though.
Can everybody else but Miss White see theirs in their course?
Maybe it's taking a minute because it says it's in process.
Yeah,
oh, yours is still saying processing, Ms. Trujillo?
No, mine's working, but I'm just saying it might take a minute because it says processing. Mine's there.
Okay. Miss White, I'm going to move on, and I'll come in and troubleshoot with you this afternoon if we need to, since it's just one.
No problem.
And maybe by then the processing will have happened.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so then you'll notice in your classroom, we've got your 3 Renaissance things. You've got your admin manual, a video about Renaissance testing, the ones you've already watched. So let's go down to the Eduphoria, and we're going to watch the online proctoring video. This is what you need to do to get it ready. So as the video plays, we'll pause it and let you actually do it as it's playing. So you can go ahead and set up the proctor right now. Your tests are active. So Ms. Rodriguez, don't cheat.
What?
Don't give your kids the answers just because you have access right now.
Damn it, Miss Barron, how'd you know?
All right. Do y'all want to just watch it like this way? Do y'all want me to? I don't know how to do the sound on this. So if you can't hear it, tell me, and we may just have to each watch it on our own.
There should be an option when you're in that little arrow next to your share screen to share your audio as well.
Yep. Thank you, Ms. Brown. I've been wondering how to do that. Now let's try.
Welcome.
What online test proctoring looks like from the teacher perspective. So again, once you have set up student passwords, you have built a test that you are ready to administer online, you have made sure that under the administration tab, you have it set up to do online testing. Again, you don't have to do anything there except for maybe preview the test and make sure your administration dates are correct. And then turn on the calculator if you choose to do so for a math or science assessment. And then once those things are done, the test is in an active state, the test is available to be administered online by teachers. And we're going to look at what that proctoring screen looks like. So if from the application home screen, you just click on Aware, it defaults you to the Analyze tab. From here, I'm going to click.
Okay, so everybody needs to be in Eduphoria Aware.
Oh.
Get to Aware, go to Analyze. And up at the top above everything, there's that blue test available. That's where you're going.
Mine does not say test available.
Neither
the
does
Analyze tab up above.
Neither does mine.
Neither does mine.
Mine doesn't either.
All right. That's why we're doing this today, since it's available. We're due on Wednesday. So we are going to stop there, and I'm going to give you the rest of your PLC to do what you can in these few minutes, and we will figure out what to do if it doesn't say test available, because all instruction I've gotten have been to go to test available. All right. We'll troubleshoot, and we will try to finish this tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, everybody. I'm here. I'm leaving the Zoom up. If you have questions, ask me. Oh, one thing. There's a step that we're missing that it's time to make sure we're not missing anymore. So by Monday, this needs to be implemented by Monday, okay? I know some of you are doing this and some of you are not. But if you're not actually uploading a teaching video of your I do, we do, you do, got to have a teaching video with your virtual kids of your I Do, We Do, You Do. So please make sure that whoever's turning around Canvas for that day is including their virtual teach of the I Do, We Do, You Do. Okay? I know most of you are already doing that, but if you haven't been, just make sure that is every day there needs to be that where they're getting guidance for that. Their parents don't know how to walk them through inferencing. Are you kidding me? So please make sure that that's happening because you are the experts. All right, go ahead and do what you need to. I'm watching via Zoom, and let me know if you have questions.
Ms. Barron, can you put us in breakout rooms?
Yes, I can. I'm going to do that right now. Let me just stop.